be very much useful if Dr. Shilpa can provide us a take-home message out of this discussion. Being a psychiatrist, we feel like your thoughts and a message from you will really help women in this forum, and it will help us. Yeah, over to you, Dr. Shilpa.
Thank you. And it was great listening to all of you, like, all your inputs and insights into your own field. And I think the greatly, ஒரு விஷயம் வந்து, if you were to take this pandemic as a storm, not everybody travels in the same boat. So we have to understand that. Some people have their own private yacht. Some people have a very nice cruise ship. Some people have boats. Some people might have only a catamaran. Some people might have only a log to hold on to. Some people don't even know how to swim. So we are seeing all this kind of people affected by corona. It's not just the ones which are there to kind of handle it in a better way. அது மட்டும் நம்ம பார்க்கல. So that is something we always have to bear in mind. The reason is because not only we have to equip our own self, but we should also be ready to, identify people who are in distress. So it's as important as that, because people who are in distress, and they might not be able to reach out for help all by themselves. So it's more important that we should be kind of, we should have a kind of a stress coping in order to equip our own self. Like everybody spoke about, its own. A lot of people are, optimist by nature, by themselves. Some people are not like that. So we have to consider all that. We have to be more empathic that way, because there is always the other side of the coin. We don't know what is happening, because I don't know. Somebody asked if there are studies done. Why is that anxiety and depression? Yes, there are studies done. There are a lot of systemic reviews, and there are a lot of studies being done, and it is there. It is true. What we have to know is that it is always good to know that there is a very famous song in Tamil, உனக்கும் கீழே உள்ளவர் கோடி நினைத்து பார்த்து நிம்மதியாக. That is Ms. Jan, and whoever doesn't understand English is like, you are more privileged. There are people who are suffering even worse than you. So it's better that you count your blessings. It is good. It is good to count your blessing so that you kind of push yourself, be optimist. But one has to realize that you cannot be, pushing yourself to an extent that you deny or avoid or invalidate your own feelings. Because you keep doing that chronically, then one day you will not know where you are, and you might not be able to get help. You might be, but all by yourself. So நம்ம வந்து இப்படி நினைக்கிறது count your blessing. Okay, speaking of which, I think everybody spoke about your personal experience, and I think இங்க டாக்டர் அந்த healthcare professional frontline workers பத்தி நீங்க யாருமே நம்ம பேசல. I understand that. So the thing is, everybody goes through stress in different forms. So when it comes to education and all that, sir சொன்ன மாதிரி, we also see people who are not even having internet connection. So when I see them, and I see a lot of child cases, and you have to understand that there are good things and bad things in internet. நல்ல விஷயம் வரும்போது நல்லதுதான், but how much you're going to control those things? So parents come and cry to me, I don't know how to control these apps. Kids are seeing things which they are not supposed to see. There are online abusers, cyber crimes, perpetrators free flowing there. So you know the violence that has been there rampant. After this is something, a lot of things are happening, but நிறைய நடக்கிறதுனால it's not like we have to know everything, but we should be aware of a lot of things. So when it comes to our own private personal life, we'll know that எதெல்லாம் நம்ம we should be aware of, and then so that we will also be able to help others. So I know there are a lot of NGO organizations along with schools where they actually kind of connect to the underprivileged children, because there's no internet there. There's no internet connectivity. They're not able to provide phone. They don't know how to function or use the key functions and all that. So அந்த மாதிரி நிறைய issues இருக்கு. When it comes to stigma, it's again, stigma is always there. Now corona became another stigma. அது வந்துருச்சுன்னு சொல்றாங்க. பால்கார கேட்டா அது வந்துருச்சுமா, அது ஏதோ இருக்கே, அது வந்துருச்சு. Because HIV once எப்படி பார்த்தாங்க, corona has been used like that, because the discrimination that people show towards people who have been affected by corona, not only them but also their family, is huge. And the moment corona sometimes people don't even call them. I know patients who come to me, cry to me, because not only because they have been affected by corona, but also because of the distancing and the no physical connection basically at all with the other family members and all that. It's huge. So that is also something you have to keep in mind. Another thing is this grief. So the grief when we lose somebody, not only our own loved ones, but also friends, family of friends. Sometimes you don't even know who they are. The grief is immense, and we don't. There is no time or no resource to actually process this grief. That is another thing. And the shadow pandemic, the abuse, the domestic violence is huge. We are all more privileged to live in a place where we are safe. Most often the perpetrators are the intimate people. So the more you are, in one roof, so it's not only the domestic violence, it's not only the sexual abuse, emotion, emotional abuse, so there are a lot of things layer by layer, onion madri. So it's like that now. So we just have to be aware at the same time. Please reach out to the ones that like somebody said, their maid and then the maid family. So reach out to those people. They don't even know. There are a lot of helplines available online. So there are a lot of hotlines. There are like 112, there's like 1091. So the legal advice, medical advice regarding the domestic violence I'm talking about. So maybe we will just share through mail about these hotlines, and the suicidal ideas is so high. We get calls. We get calls in the nights. We get calls when we are volunteers. We get calls, and then they don't know. They don't even know. But these hotlines, these helplines, actually help us to intervene in the crisis. And yes, we have actually stopped that act. Stop that act, because suicide is like a cancer in mental health. We think that we don't know when it will actually happen. So actually திடீர்னு நல்லா தான் இருக்கிறாங்க அப்படின்னு மட்டும் நீங்க நினைச்சவே கூடாது. At the same time, there is a lot of judgment when it comes to suicide. Only a weak and feeble mind will do that. So it's not like that. So a lot of stigma is associated with mental health itself. So that is why sometimes, as I know, people want to ask for help. Sometimes they are very scared that they will be judged. Oh, then that means you're inefficient if you're asking for help. I don't want to be judged that way. I won't ask for help. So the assertiveness is something that absolutely we have no idea, especially in the culture. So assertiveness is something like no sonna enna no solra enna paathu. So because of the parenting and all that, so assertiveness is to stand for your own self, at the same time not stepping on others' rights. So that is something which is a very nice thing to do, but we simply don't know how to do that. So இது எல்லாமே, as Mr. Prajit said, the diaper ad mari, it starts with one cheppu jaman given to the toy given to a girl, but a gun is given to a boy. It starts from there. And father, when he takes the plate and thing, obviously the boy is going to. So a lot of things, the core belief and all that. Now, how we are going to manage this is the positive thinkers. Please hold on to that. I'm very happy for you all, the optimists here. I'm glad. It's. But there is also something like, not here, but generally there is something coming up, like a toxic positivity, like too much pushing too much. Sometimes when you invalidate things too much, it goes over the roof. So that is when you should be aware of your mental health and well-being, holistically. So when you actually think that, okay, this is not my usual self, you must kind of identify. So triggers were the way you should respond to certain things. When you start reacting to certain things, yeah, then there is a clue for you. So, you pay attention, be more mindful of your own self. So be it your physical health, be it your mental health. When you become more mindful of yourself, then even the small changes, you will be able to kind of appreciate it. Okay, something. So when we actually identify it in initial stage, then there comes our support system, like our friends, our family. It could be groups. WhatsAppல இருக்கலாம், Facebookல இருக்கலாம். There are numerous wonderful groups on Facebook which actually provide a great support system to empower women, support them to during violence. So all these things initially நம்ம ஐடென்டிஃபை பண்ண ஆரம்பிச்சோம்னா, that is when I tell people lockdown is a lockdown only for your physical movement, not for your voice. So voice out when you are actually in distress, voice out, reach out for help in trouble. So sleep is something like Ms. Jan was saying, like one day blends into another day. We don't even know which day is what. So we're more disoriented, like, oh, Sunday, oh, Monday. Every day looks like one day. I don't know which day that is. I think 7 days, 8th day, some day, or day, it became like that now because of the pandemic. So when that kind of blending into one thing to the other thing, and she said like she has to attend calls all over the globe. So there is no time limit there. Like, okay, my workspace is over, I come home, I'll be left. So it's all like, she's like she's living in the office and the madre. So that is something, sleep is something you should definitely pay attention to. Because when you get adequate sleep, then you kind of, you're preparing your body for the better tomorrow, madam. So when you kind of lose sleep, so never ever try to think that, okay, let me sleep in the afternoon for 8 hours or 6 hours. Don't just count, I mean, not just the quantity of sleep. The quality of sleep is far important. It exceeds that. So the night sleep is more important. So try if you can. So go to bed in a fixed timing and wake up from bed. A fixed timing for both is more important. Coming to gadget free time, it's very important to unwind yourself. There's loaded information, from the media, from the groups and everywhere. It's all about the pandemic. It's all about this. சரி, இதை விட்டு வெளியில வரலாம் அப்படின்னு வரும்போது we kind of sacrifice our sleep to have a downtime. So watching our serials and all that. So I understand it is important, but in the long run, we will eventually realize that sleep is far more important than that. It's more important. So sleep is something, and for half an hour before sleep, try to put off all your gadgets. So everything. So it should be a gadget-free time. You have to give your brain the cue that it is night time. Unless otherwise your sleep hormone is gonna strike. It says எனக்கு full light தான் வந்துட்டு இருக்கு. I'm not going to, produce here. So you have to shut out. You have to have that give that gadget-free time, and drink plenty of fluid according to your body's need as well. So some people have more perspiration or they do a lot of workout activities. You accordingly, you please hydrate yourself, but hydration, please don't do it more in the night time, because otherwise your sleep will be disturbed. Just for the purpose of voiding, you will be the sleep will be disturbed. So do that one, and please try not to indulge yourself into more coffee and tea, or any other substance, because now the other thing is a substance thing. So it could be smoking or alcohol or other substances, or it could be tea or coffee as well. Sometimes it could be unhealthy food habits, binging on to more snacks and other things. So if that is the case, if you're not able to cut down on it immediately, go to a low calorie, high protein diet. Start off with that, and drink adequate water. Sometimes people do not know to differentiate the thirst and the hunger. It happens in the brain. We have that centers for satiety, and it actually differs. The people will not be able to differentiate it. So most often they tend to eat more. So what you try to do is always have a water bottle with you in your sight, and if you feel you're hungry, it's okay. You take a sip of water, unless it's not your meal time. Take sips of water, and then you see if it's necessary. Then go for this healthy meals, fruits, vegetables, salads, and those things. When it comes to the exercise and all, it is far more important, because exercise per se produce happy hormones. So when somebody is saying, hey, you don't have to do anything, just to exercise, you don't have to take any plus, just to exercise, then wouldn't you choose exercise? So exercise, now that it is a lockdown, it is not available, the gym and all that, a lot of people have stopped doing that. So this is a time when maybe people who are volunteers and all that, they're doing online, Insta, everywhere people are posting things like what you can do with whatever is available at home. So you do that. You do that at least for half an hour. a day, you do exercise. It can be anything. It can be yoga, or it can be Zumba dancing and all that. And do some hobbies. அது என்ன வேணா இருக்கலாம். Gardening இருக்கலாம், பரோட்டா செய்யறதுலாம் இருக்கலாம், kneading and all that, baking and all that. It's a great exercise. You can just vent out your anger on the mavu. Okay, so they all are therapeutic actually. You must try that. So, the thing is, we have many things, but all we have to do is open our eyes so that, we try to include those things in our routine in one or the other way, and not give up into that. I'm not able to. So, and food, please take small frequent meals. Now the stress is high, so it's better you take small frequent meals. It's good for your gastritis if anybody has, and that way also you will not consume more amount. So if doing all this, I'm sure you'll be able to equip yourself, your mental health. Then please look out for people, because a lot of people who don't even know how to ask help. So now is not the time we should teach them, but this is something like the mental health, the fraternity is actually, making a lot of policies, like, because the mental health issues is actually out there, as I said, it's the second pandemic. So we have to look out for those things. Somebody here asked, among the audience, somebody asked, like, one of their friends is actually going through a grief. So never take grief, lightly, because it may not be always normal grief. It can be a pathological grief as well. So if they need help, a lot of IT professionals come to me. And I've given breaks for them, because when they need break, yes, they need a break. And when they need empowerment, yes, they need the empowerment. So there should be the difference. We just cannot keep saying, you have to do it, because that is something they keep listening every day from people. So that is when I said, push panano, but then we also have to be alert when it is going on to the pathological norm. So it is it's a kind of a continuum. So we have to keep having a check on it. Then I hope and believe that, sir, ellarum sonna madri, idu podhu, this too shall pass down. Eppa pass ஆக போகுதுங்கிறது தான், like, the second pandemic and all that. We all thought we will tide over this crisis, but then, again, this has come. And speaking of my own experience, I and my spouse did not live under the same roof for a year, because he was more into the front line. He's a neurosurgeon, so he every day in and out, he sees patients, he operates on patients. For a year, we did not see. My children did not see him. Yes, it was difficult, but I'm sure it was not impossible. In the way, like, we know that what we are doing. So when I have to go, I have to speak to a patient for 1.5 hours. My family banned me from going to the hospital, but I still go. I cannot stop myself, because I know now is the time I'm needed the most. Because when we go there, Corona ward, you see them. It is all like a planet la madri. Everybody wearing the PPE kit and all that, and going, and then the patient, they don't have anybody to talk to. So we do connect patients through online phones, and elderly people, they don't know how to function it. We switch it on, we give them their WhatsApp, we connect it to the hospital thing. We try to provide support as much as possible. Because a lot of home quarantine and home isolation is happening. So this is why I'm telling my experience, not because I want to tell what I am doing, but this is the same thing we can do as well. So everybody now is basically a mental health support giver, a caregiver. So when we are good, I think we should just look out for others as well. When we follow a healthy lifestyle, the lifestyle modification, that if you're able to do something now, I think we'll hold on to it forever in our life. And we also have to look forward to, look out for people who are in this underprivileged sectors, and all the maids and all those people. And so even I'm associated with a school where we actually provide this to the underprivileged people. We provide all this. So I know a lot of organizations are doing that. All we have to do is, if you're willing, if you're going to be a volunteer, you can do that. You can be a teacher to a 3-year-old and 4-year-old. One take-home message would be, apart from the lifestyle modification of good sleep, plenty of fluids, and good meal, frequent meals, frequent small meals, and all that. We also have to remember that internet is a boon and a bane. Yeah, it can be a boon, it can also be a bane. So please be aware of it. because I do get a lot of child cases with a lot of abuse and trauma, a lot of PTSD I see these days, a lot of complex PTSD I see these days. A lot of children kind of start watching horror movies, and I see a lot of acute stress disorder. So it is not only on paper. I may be able to provide one or two articles, but then a lot of these things comes from my own experience as a mental health professional.
Yeah.
I know we all will do this. I know we all will be able to.
Yeah.
But when it actually this thing, other thing is this கொரோனானால பாதிக்கப்படுறவங்க சம்டைம்ஸ் நம்மளுக்கு வந்துருமோங்கிற ஆங்ஸைட்டி நிறைய இருக்கு நிறைய பேருக்கு. And one other important message is why to avoid media and everything. Children are like sponges, so they also listen to this. அவங்க மூணாவது ரூம்ல இருந்தாலும் இங்க இருக்கிற நியூஸ் அவங்களுக்கு கேட்கும். We should not actually think that they will not understand this vocabulary. இவ்வளவு தமிழ்னா அவங்களுக்கு புரியாது. No, they do understand. They'll come and ask you, இப்படின்னா என்னம்மா அப்படின்னு கேட்பாங்க. And they will be very scared that அம்மா நீயும் போயிடுவே ஒரு நாள். A lot of patients ask me like, I don't know what to do. I'm crying every day because my child is now really anxious that I might disappear one day. So this is why, please, please, please cut down on the screen time so that you will also protect your children in other forms. And when the children they get very anxious, so we should be aware of their thing. And for children, please provide some obstructive course play, because the energy level is too high. They don't know how to unwind their energy, and they become very frustrated, very cranky, and that will kind of take a toll on our health, our mental health. So I know a lot of things to say, but I try to concise it.
Yeah. Thank you,
Thank
Dr.
you.
Shilpa. ரொம்ப
Thank
அழகா
you,
சொன்னீங்க.
doctor.
வேரியஸ் ஆஸ்பெக்ட்ஸ் அண்ட் என்னென்ன பிரச்சனைகள்லாம் ஃபேஸ் பண்றோம். போத் பிசிக்கல் ஹெல்த் அண்ட் மென்டல் ஹெல்த் ரொம்ப இம்பார்ட்டன்ட், அண்ட் வி ஷுட் சப்போர்ட் ஈச் அதர்னு ரொம்ப அழகா சொன்னீங்க. லெட்ஸ் ட்ரை டு ஃபாலோ ஆல் தீஸ். ஸோ ரொம்ப யூஸ்ஃபுல்லான டேக் அவே மெசேஜா இருந்தது. ஸோ விடியாத இரவென்று எதுவும் இல்லை, முடியாத துயரென்று எதுவும் இல்லை, இதுவும் கடந்து போகும் என்று நாம் நம்புவோம். ஸோ இது ஒரு சின்ன தொடக்கம் தான் இந்த ஆய்வாலயம் சொசைட்டியோட சின்ன இனிஷியேட்டிவ் டு சப்போர்ட் த விமன் அண்ட் இன் திஸ் சிச்சுவேஷன். ஸோ இந்த மாதிரி பேனலிஸ்ட் கிட்ட இருந்து நல்ல கருத்துக்கள் எங்களுக்கு யூஸ்ஃபுல்லா இருக்கும். ஸோ வி ஹவ் செட் அப் தட். இட்ஸ் ஜஸ்ட் ஸ்டார்ட். ஸோ சோஃபியா ஹட் ஷேர்ட் ஃபீட்பேக் ஃபார்ம் இங்க கொடுத்துருக்காங்க. ஸோ உங்களோட ஃபீட்பேக்ஸ் இங்க ப்ரொவைட் பண்ணுங்க. ஸோ இன்னும் என்ன மாதிரி பேனலிஸ்ட்லாம் வேணும் அப்படின்னு எதிர்பார்க்குறீங்க, என்ன மாதிரியான கொஸ்டின்ஸ் அட்ரஸ் பண்ணணும்னு நினைக்கிறீங்க அப்படின்னு சொல்லி அப்டேட் பண்ணுங்க. வில் ஹாவ் மோர் செஷன்ஸ் பிளான் ஃபார் த ஃபியூச்சர். So I'll hand over it to Sneha to give the vote of thanks. Thank you, Sneha. Thank you, all the panelists. Over to you, Sneha. Yeah.
Excuse me, I have something to add. There were a few questions from the participants during registration that will be answered personally to the registered email ID. Please take a note of that also.
Yeah, thanks, baby. Thanks for writing it out. Yeah. We are running short of time, so we cannot accommodate all the questions. It will be offline sent. Yeah. Over to you, Sneha.
On behalf of Valor Society, I take this opportunity.
I hear, Sneha, your voice little feeble. Is it only for me or rest of all?
No, everywhere. She
Okay.
must speak up.
Okay. Am I audible?
No.
Still, it's a little feeble, Sneha.
Raise a voice, or there is something wrong in your system.
Now, am I audible?
No.
Yeah, you are audible, but you are a little feeble.
Okay.
Yeah, now it's better.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's okay.
I, on behalf of Valor Society, I take this opportunity to propose vote of thanks to those who have directly and indirectly contributed for this session, Women Amid the Pandemic. I thank a panel of experts, Dr. Shilpa, Ms. Jan, Mary, Ms. Diana, Professor Masalamani, Mr. Prijit, and Ms. Anandi for kindly enlightening lessons. A special thanks to the organizing committee for their unflinching support and coordination. Our heartfelt thanks to all the participants. We assured a more informative with the thank you once again. Thank you so much. Sorry for taking so much of your time. We'll meet again. Bye bye. Good night.
Can I I would like to wind up this one, thanking everybody, and above all, இதுவும் கடந்து போ. இதை நினைவில் வைத்துக் கொள்வோம். இதுவும் கடந்து போ.
Thank you, sir.
Sure,
Take it
sir.
positively.
Thank you. Yeah.
It's a matter of 1 month or more. That's all. After that, இப்போ யூஎஸ்ல கடந்து போயிருச்சு more or less. போன வருஷம் இதே சமயம் யூஎஸ் பார்த்து நம்ம என்ன இவ்வளவு மோசமா இவ்வளவு கஷ்டப்படுறாங்கன்னு சொன்னோம். இப்ப அவங்க எல்லாம் விடுதலையாகி வெளியே சுத்த ஆரம்பிச்சிட்டாங்க. அதே மாதிரி நம்மளும் இன்னும் 1 or 2 monthsல சுத்த ஆரம்பிப்போம். நமக்கும் விடுதலை கிடைக்கும். இதுவும் கடந்து போகும். Take it that way. அனைவருக்கும் நன்றி.